Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Once again, we are here with another podcast. In today's podcast, we have brother Yousif, all the way from Sudan. He has been here since last 3 years, and I think 4 years. He did his foundation here, and then he started the university categorically, and then further, currently he's in the electronic engineering. Further, we're gonna talk on it. A part of it, first, I'm gonna request the brother Yousif with the word of thanking that he has given his precious time for this podcast, inshallah, which will gonna be helpful for all the students, those who are looking for the study abroad, especially for the University of Huddersfield. And a part of it, he'll gonna share his experience from his own words as brother from Sudan. So, sir, brother, first of all, we're gonna start with your introduction. So, could you please let us know about a short introduction?
Welcome to this channel, and I hope you enjoy. Firstly, I would love to thank my brother here for hosting me for the not first episode for him, but first episode from me in this podcast. So my name is Yousif. I'm originally from Sudan. I'm a second year student at the University of Huddersfield. So basically, I did 3 years with this university, and by this year it will be the 4th year. I did foundation, first year, and this is the end of the second year in electronic and electrical engineering. And in these past 3 years, I really did a lot of stuff, like participating in a lot of societies, participating in organizing some of the university events, and I really appreciate that time because it gave me a lot of experience with that.
So, Jazakallah khair for sharing your words. So, on top of all, you did the foundation in the university. So, how was your foundation year, and in which course you did the foundation? Because I think you did in the engineering, isn't it?
Yes. Foundation overall, with the good and the bad side, it was really good because it was the first time I came to UK here, and it really changed my mindset and the first impression for the country as well. Because when you live in a foreign country, not in the UK, you'll have some assumption and imagination, like Harry Potter, imagination,
whatever we have gone through in the Hollywood movies.
Yeah. Like it seemed like people like dress in suits and other stuff like that. So it really changed my mindset about a lot of things, especially the Muslim people who are living in here in UK. So basically, I did the course in computer and engineer because it was like one group.
Yeah.
But then later on they
split it.
I
think after this first term.
The second term.
Second term.
Because first term is general. Yeah. The second term was like more for specific, like you're gonna go to the electrical. We're gonna put you in that group. Yeah. So it was like a nice.
And I have listened the words from one of the teacher. He said that you are good enough in the maths.
And the thing is, the math, like I'm not bad at it at all, but I'm not always giving it like a fair shot.
Yeah.
You got me? Because as an engineer, the typical idea about engineering, they are really good with math. Not all of engineers are like bad with math, but some people like me don't love math. Especially math equation, the one that will take 3 pages to solve is too long. So yeah, when I study really hard, I can be good at it. Yeah. And everyone, I think, when they do their best.
So it all depends on how much you are putting your effort. Whatever you put, you get that.
Yeah.
So, Jazakallah khair. And after that, if you're going to talk about a part of the education, you are a part of currently you are president of your own society, which is the Sudani society.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about shortly with that, how may you can become a president, or what you have to represent as a president of a society, and what you have to do being a president or with a part of the society.
So from my experience, because firstly, you need to look for your own people from your own country. So if you didn't find like any, for example, Sudanese, Egyptian, whatever from your own country, look for your closest friends, and you can make them like participate in your society to create a society, which I did that with the Yemeni society, because I have a Yemeni friend who is only by himself. So we gather now we are 5 people in the community, including him.
Yeah.
So you could do something like
So you
this.
have collabed with the Yemeni or Sudani society.
Yeah, you can do something like this. Or if you find some people from your own country, from your own nationality, just get in touch with them. Tell them your own ideas, like, oh, we want to create a society to present our country. And later on, by the time they will get more to know them, you'll see like who wants to be the president, who wants to be like the vice president, and so on. So for me, I got lucky because I found like more than 10 Sudanese people in this university,
Yeah.
and they really helped me to do more social activity with them.
I
And
think you have been active from the foundation, because
yeah,
in the
yeah,
ISC, the progression coaches, build up to us that we have to do this and this, join the university society, do this and these
yeah,
activities. So just because of that, when we come to the university, we know that what we have to do, where do we have to go. And I have to clear one thing is that the society doesn't mean that this person is just for the Sudani society or the Yemeni. He is
yeah,
representing the entire university, and whoever needs any help from his side, come down to him, text him or message him or email him. He'll gonna inshallah help you out, because society just help you to grow up and get to know about what's going on around, and they mostly help you in the when it's come for the homesickness or
exactly.
missing their own culture. So just they support that and they express their own feelings and their culture. This is all about the society. Society doesn't mean that it consists of 10 or 15 people. It's for the all of us, no matter who where we are from, and what our backgrounds. So just sharing this my words from my side, he better know, he better understand, and he's gonna share because he's a president.
When you put it like that, he's a president, it seems like a lot of pressure. But the thing is, getting in, to be a president, you really have to be confident.
Yeah.
Because some people might just throw the weight of the whole, leadership thing on you, although you might not want it, but because they saw like, oh, who's the most active in the
Person, and
society,
they put all
yeah,
the
and they will just put all the weight on you. It's a good thing that, oh, they notice like you are doing good, but doing it all by yourself, it is really gonna put you in a lot of stress. So also you need to speak with them, communicate
Yeah.
well, which is that being a president, it really developed that side of my character, like communicating with people. I wouldn't say giving them an order, but trying to tell them like, oh, I need help with this. Can you do that? Do
So you
this.
just request them and ask them,
Yeah.
could they able to do all these and these
Yeah,
things or not?
yeah, exactly. So because as I said, if you did everything by yourself,
Yeah.
later on you might hate being a president or
Yeah.
something like that, and then you're gonna cancel the whole society thing, which is not a good thing
Yeah.
to have. Also, if you thought about it, like being a president, it really opened like a new door for you to get and communicate with the university,
Yeah.
student union, especially like with the community members, and until the like
And
the
the best
lowest
thing is
member in
that
them.
it's a good experience, and you can portray this experience on your CV
Yeah,
and resume, which will
exactly.
gonna help you to enhance your CV and to get into the corporate world.
Yeah.
Apart of it, Yusuf, would you like to share your university experience after the completion of foundation? You came to the university and you join. You have become the president. First, you join your society, then you become a president. A part of it, when it's come from the education sector, so and you are in the university course of electronic engineer. How did you find the electronic energy engineering in this university, and what do you prefer to the others? What's your experience in this field, and when it's come to the reference for the others, so what you will gonna say on this?
You mean for the other courses?
No, I'm talking about if it's come for the electronical engineers. What's your experience in this university about it?
Okay. So after I finished the foundation year, I really came like with a good mindset, like with all the people that I know that not everyone will like to agree with you on one point.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone has a like a
Different
different
thoughts.
idea or different mindset. For the electrical course, in the beginning, I thought it might be a really easy course because the first week of the uni from the first year, they were just like giving a small talk about like the modules, what you're gonna do,
It's
how
a kind
the
of
credit,
introduction, I think.
yeah, how the credit system work and also. But really, it hit me in the third week because I realized like, oh, there is a module called math, which I don't like, and there's like other modules like new to my mind
Yeah.
that oh, I need really to study so I could pass on this, because if you didn't study, later on you're gonna have like a resets and other stuff, so you're gonna have to do a reset on summer, which is not like a good thing for people, someone who wants to enjoy the summer. So I would say like if you didn't put enough hard work in your first year, later on you might regret it and you have to learn the hard way, because
Yeah.
most of my lessons were in the hard way. And I really, when you learn a lesson in the hard way, it's gonna stick you like what you call it?
The minds become a cooker.
Yeah, exactly. It's really gonna really hit you deep, like, oh,
Yeah.
you might say like in yourself, like, I could have done better, but that will be too late because
Yeah.
you're already in that situation. You put yourself in that situation. So you need really to be
So from the day one,
consistent
you
with
have
the
to work
study,
on your studies. Don't wait for the exams.
especially the last week of the exam, because you have maybe 8 weeks of content
Yeah.
and you have like 2 days. It would be really stressful to finish 8 weeks of content in just 2 days.
So
It's
how
really
did you find
stressful.
the electronical engineer in this university?
It is nice, especially with my group,
Yeah.
because the first year, uh, the teacher were really friendly, except the math teacher. I didn't like him, honestly. But like other modules in the first year, they were really nice. They were really like sit down at the table, open the book, like tell you like do this, do this. Even if you didn't understand, they could sit like for 2 hours, like speak to you like, oh, what you didn't understand, and then like put the stone
So
base
they
for
put
you.
their individual effort on you.
Yeah, they really put their heart on that work.
Yeah.
You got me. Except the math teacher. I really do. I hate that. But yeah. And personally, I have a story with the one teacher of a module, which is computer programming, because that was like a new thing for me. Like, what is coding? How do I use C++ and other stuff? I really didn't know anything about it. So luckily, the module leader, I think she was named Julian, something like that. She's from China. She was a really friendly teacher. She told me like, oh, sit down, do this, open the computers, do 1, 2, 3, and so on. And by time, I got used to it. So what I'm gonna give a quick advice: if you didn't know anything about any module, any of your modules that you're studying, just go to your teacher, email him, visit him in his office at his free time, because normally they'll be busy doing like recording lectures or stuff like that, or in a meeting. You don't want to interrupt him because it wouldn't be nice. So just ask him like, would you be free, for example, for 2 hours, for example, or something like that. If he was free, he will literally sit down with you, open the book, and he'll tell like, oh, what you didn't understand, and then he will just explain it to you.
That's a nice thing, because I'm a medical student and I have the same issues with sometimes, and I have seen all these things. So personally, they help a lot. So no matter what queries you have, what question you have to put in front of the teacher. Once they get to know about your problems and issues, they will gonna help you out. A part of it, if you think about that, they would have know what's going on in your heart and mind. It won't be possible because we are the humans. We have to share our and express that what we are going through. So most of the time what happen that just because of the shyness we keep quiet and teacher doesn't come to break that ice.
I mean, that's also, it could be turned to someone who, for example, I saw it most in the Chinese student, because most of them, they're like exchange student. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, and they feel like their English is not good enough to communicate with other students, not the only teacher, the other students. So they just keep down there, sit in the corner, be quiet, and just wait for the class to finish, and they go home. Even if they didn't understand what's going on in the lecture, they just want to finish it and just go away. You got me? But for the people who really try hard to even express what they are in mind, even in broken English, but they're able to communicate with
Yeah,
each
yeah.
other.
Just try to talk with them, they're gonna help you
Yeah,
out.
they're gonna
Even though
try
if you
help
are
with
not
anything.
able to speak, they try to help you out while speaking as well.
Yes, yes,
So
exactly.
apart of it, Yusuf, what do you think about? I mean, first of all, why did you choose this university for this course?
That's a really tough question. I mean, personally, because I'm funded with from my parents,
Yeah,
so the prices of university at that time was a bit high, so I really had to choose like a low budget university that I
yeah,
can just choose it as a foundation for my journey in the like for the future. So I had three choices, no, more than three choices. I had Sheffield, Leeds, Manchester, and this university, Huddersfield. And I did really deep search about
yeah,
every city and every university, like what's good, what's bad, the community of that city or town. And it turns out to be Huddersfield has like a really good community,
yeah.
and also because there are loads of international students in this uni, so it will make you basically not feel uncomfy or
That you are
something.
all alone.
Yeah, because you have more international students
Yeah,
here,
I
so that you
think
can relate to them
more
and
than
they can
100
relate to you.
plus international students they have.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Especially in my course because it's really diverse in there.
yeah,
Uh, and also the price of it was really reasonable, and they could, if you are struggling as bit in the financial situation, they could give you like a scholarship, reduce the
yeah.
weight of it, and you should be
So
fine.
if you have a good merit and you are, I mean, challenging person, if you are a hardworking person, they're gonna help you a lot.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
it's come for
yeah,
education, it's called financial aid or
yeah,
something like that. They'll gonna stand with
yeah,
you and
exactly.
support you.
Yeah.
Okay. Apart of it, Yusuf, when it's come for the, I
What's
mean,
that?
when it's come for reference
Yeah,
or when it's come for recommendation,
yeah.
so will you gonna recommend this university for this course?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, 100% I recommend it because when I went to the Manchester University and asked about the same course that I'm doing,
Yeah,
I found out like there is really shocking information about it because they study 9 modules, I study 6 modules, which is 3 modules different, but they study like a wide range and they have like only one teacher per 3 modules something. He's teaching like the same 3 modules,
yeah.
and he has like 150, 200 students in like one lecture hall, which is would be really stressful to communicate with
Understand. And
the
when it's come for
lecturer.
the individual,
Huh?
when it's come for the individual attention, it won't be possible.
Yeah, or you have only to look for someone who really understand the
Yeah,
content, and then you have to chase that person, which would also be like a waste of time, waste of energy. Here, the good thing, the teachers, you have like, I wouldn't say many teachers,
yeah,
but you have like flexible management for time with the teacher, and they really could help set like free their
yeah.
timetable and set like a whole day, for example, to sit and speak with you, like, oh, what's wrong? Speak to me, tell me like what's the issue I could help, because it would be like one-to-one session,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they're really easy to reach out to you, and you can easily also reach out to them. They also can give you their phone number, their own phone number,
Yeah.
which is a good thing because not too many
Teachers
lecturers
come
that
with
I
this
know
one,
will
yeah.
give you a phone number. So they
Because that's their
really,
personal thing. They will come with the personal professional together.
I
So
mean, in the profile you can see like the email, the phone
yeah,
number.
the
Yeah,
those are the universities
yeah.
one, and
So
I agree with these
yeah,
things.
so they easily can reach you, and you can easily reach out to them for any issue, even the personal things. They might give you an advice about it, like, oh, do this or try to avoid that, and so on. They really help.
And when it's come for the personal tutor, do we have personal tutor in this university?
Yes,
Do you have?
I mean, the terms of personal tutor, it doesn't mean like that tutor is just will sit down with all you. There is some tutors that could be just fixed for you.
Yeah,
It depends on how the university system works, but mostly there'll be like one personal tutor for 4 or 5 students in one, for example, one room, or if he couldn't do it face to face,
Yeah.
he will arrange like an online session and you will just join them. He will just ask you about how you are doing in the course and all stuff.
So they help a lot with the academic, and they ask us what's going on, what are the difficulties we are
So
facing.
for any reason, for example, if you couldn't reach out to your module leader,
Yeah.
you can speak to your personal tutor, which should be available at any time. You could email him, tell him like, oh, I have this issue. Could you contact my module leader? You give him like the module name and the module code, and he will be able to reach out more quickly than you.
Yeah.
Because he is like literally in touch with him, and he will just explain the issue to him, and then he will come back to you.
And I want to mention one more thing, which my teacher said to us, that in the university, and if I talk about one department, as I'm from medical, so in that department, all the teachers are in one link. So if you have any query or any problem which you are facing, or you think that you have done something wrong, and another person, teacher, won't be aware about that issue. So it's totally wrong, because they all are teacher in one link. So if you did anything wrong, they all would be aware about. If you did anything good, they all are aware about, and they all will gonna appreciate you on those things.
Yeah.
So a part of it, Yousif, these all about the education. We should say that Alhamdulillah, everything is smashing. And when it's come for the living, so
you really ask a difficult question.
yeah, what do you say about the living in Huddersfield? Because lots of students think about that we should go to the Leeds, Bradford, because those are the cities, we should stay there rather than here. So what do you say about this thing?
So from my experience, so Huddersfield is really like a cheap place comparing to other cities like I would say Bradford. What I have seen in Bradford is just like if you're a home student or you have relative who's living in Bradford, it's okay to live in Bradford, because it will be like also cheaper, but your relative or your family member there will help you because you're living with them. So you wouldn't pay like £40 a week for your groceries or something like that. It would be much less than that. Huddersfield, it's mostly like for an international student, so you have to balance your monthly budget. 40 pound a week is really up to person. Like, would you have like sweet vegetables, stuff like that? So you have to balance like what you want. Do not set a budget for grocery. Do not over jump the budget, because if you did that, you're gonna affect your whole month budget later on. For example, if you are just eating fast food every week or something like that, it really affects.
It will gonna affect your health as well.
Leeds is just like when you want to change your vibe and like enjoy the moment for a bit, go to Leeds. That's me myself. I do it like every 3 weeks from time to time, because it's a closer city. They have loads of leisure centers there, like bowling, gyms, whatever, shopping center as well. So you can enjoy your time there. They also like have really good food there. But for a student who's studying at Huddersfield, I don't really recommend. I don't know why people go live in these.
And the university also requests us. Not the request, they always ask us to live in the Huddersfield near the university, because it will gonna be helpful for you to come on the time. And nowadays the winter is somewhere around -6, -7 temperature.
And you have the train strikes as well.
Train strike, bus issues, and in this winter it is not able to. It's not capable that you came far from it.
If you put it in a quick example, so my course this term, most of the timetable changed to become at 9 a.m. So if you live in Leeds, like an international student living in Leeds in one of the student accommodation, it will be really difficult to wake up before 9. Firstly, to book a train ticket, wake up before 9, go to the train station, wait for a train, which might have like a train transportation issue because of the strikes. Even in Leeds, yeah. I know some people say like, oh, Leeds is 20 minutes away from
No,
Huddersfield.
but there is an
But
issue.
it's still like, yeah, the train might be coming from Manchester to Leeds, then Huddersfield. Then that train might cancel because of the train strikes.
Yeah.
There's no blocking or something. So you really have then later on to catch the bus, and the bus will take longer,
2
like
hours.
1 hour. Yeah. So it will be like a frustrating journey. And when you reach to the university, you'll be like already
Frustrating, and you are not in
frustrated,
that
yeah.
mind that you are capable to go for the lecture.
yeah, you wouldn't be like energetic enough to get the
Yeah.
information from lecture. You just be waiting like, oh damn, when this lecture finish, so I could go back home. You know?
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's a very good example. On a serious note, lots of the students, those who recently come, they always say that, I mean, those who are the freshers, they always say that what is in Huddersfield, what we do here. So I was like, there's a good path. I mean, good countryside area. Just have a look on it. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. On a serious note.
I mean, it's calm.
Yeah.
So like you have loads of green stuff. Not in winter, in
Summer.
spring, summer, yeah, even autumn. You have like a good view of
Yeah.
like a fields and other stuff, and you have like also lovely weather here. Although like people feels like it's for old people, yeah, but
And
it
it's
will
all
really
about
calm
the
yourself.
expenses now. I mean, it's all about the expenses. If you have more and more money, you can stay in Bradford, Leeds,
I
Manchester.
mean, if I have more money, I could have gone to London, man. I don't want to stay.
what we are
here.
doing in Huddersfield.
Yeah, but really, like, if you don't see when you go to Leeds and those stuff,
Yeah.
you'll be really comparing like, oh, why I should study in Huddersfield. Yeah, it does happen, but you need to focus on like, oh, I came here for a goal.
Yeah,
It
just
doesn't really
some-
matter
yeah.
which Leeds or.
That's a good
otherwise.
thing. We have to always be with our goal because lots of students like just forget that. So
Especially.
I think we have to always focus on goal and think about why we came here. Why do we left our house? Why we are living here, away from the families, suffering friend. I mean, away from the friend, suffering homesickness and all.
Depression.
So, okay. So, brothers, so what do you say about the university experience? How do you experience the university, the student union, and I'm talking about the everything. As we all about our university always diversity, and I have seen that they always support us no matter who you are, where are you coming from, which background. Or university always stand with you. They always supports you. So, what do you say about this?
Yeah, definitely I agree with that. And I have experienced that since the foundation here, because I came from an Arabic school,
Yeah.
which is like I wouldn't say really close-minded, but they are strict with some stuff. For example, emotional support. If you want that, they say like, oh, we don't have something called emotional support, especially as a Muslim. They're like, oh, go pray your 5 prayers, make dua, and you should be all right. But here, if you are suffering like from, I wouldn't say depression, but if you are stressed or you don't know what to do, there's like a student support guidance.
Yeah.
They really help you. Like, oh, they can arrange. Sometimes if you have like extreme, how to get stress or something closer to
I think it's
depression.
all about that. If you are all alone, it affects you.
Yeah.
You need someone to talk with you, to share your thoughts,
Yeah,
which is
but
going through.
The thing is, they could arrange a session
Yeah.
with what you call him.
Career support.
Yeah, like I forgot the doctor who sit down with
Psychiatrist?
you. And speak. Yeah, so they could arrange a session with that if you really need it,
Yeah.
and it can help you really. Because I feel personally I didn't do it, but I have friends who did it, and they said like really it's helping
Yeah,
out.
you are in the SU and you have your own,
Yeah.
I mean, society, so you're aware about all these things.
Yeah, and also for a student who was 3 years here in university, so I will tell you firstly, get engaged with the SU societies because it really help you calm down a bit and observe the culture shock
Yeah.
and the loneliness when you come here first time. Because if you did everything by yourself, you're really gonna struggle a lot because that happened to me first time.
Yeah.
because I didn't know any Arabic students or any other international. I was just close, like, oh, I have my group in the foundation, yeah, but I wasn't really close with them at the beginning. So I was just like, oh, I will stay with them for the class. After the class finished, yeah, I will go myself, buy my own groceries, do my own things. But by the time when you get engaged with the societies and you become more open, it's difficult for some people. But when you try to, you might find people who have the same mindset with you,
Yeah.
and they really can get in what you call it, match with you, like they can fit with you, and you'll find yourself by the time you become like, I'll just say best friends, but someone who close and
You
can
can share
relate
your
to
words
you.
with them.
Yeah, if you have something in your mind, you can really get in touch with him, and he will just be there for you. If you
Okay.
are just getting communicate
yeah.
with him.
Okay. So if you talk about the accommodation, so what do you think? I mean, you have been here since the last 3 years, 4 years. So
Yeah.
what do you say about the accommodations, student accommodation, or so talk about the private accommodation. What do you think about those one? And where do you think that we have to? I mean, a student should has to book, and in which accommodation you are, which you can say that you can prefer any accommodation to the students.
So booking accommodation, what I did, I chose an agency, which is like it's from Qatar, but every country has its own
Yeah.
agency for you for UK to apply. But the agency that I chose, it used a website called Casita, and that website have like a loads range of accommodations, including IQ, which is I live in now. And I prefer IQ, Little Aspley, IQ House, because it's very close to uni.
Yeah,
3 minutes
it
and
is.
you're already inside uni. Because it's literally, this is the business school and you're behind. So even if you walk up like 10 minutes late for the lecture, you can still catch up and you
Yeah.
find like, oh, the doctor is just explaining the first part of the lecture. So you're not missing a lot or you lag in for the information. For the flatmates, I didn't really
But
say the best thing.
but I mean, it's all about which company you're gonna find there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, because some accommodation can really be really
yeah,
flexible. If you didn't like the flat, you could tell the reception and they can change
change
the
it.
flat to another block or to another accommodation they have, and it really can help because I have had an issue with the flat and the block for the first year and the foundation year. Afterwards, I changed the block and really I felt like I became more calm and
So
getting used to it.
they listen to you, they talk to you. If there would be any query or issue, they sort it out for you guys.
Yeah.
Perfect. So if you talk about the Huddersfield, I mean, living in the Huddersfield, what do you say about that? About, I mean, food, for the expenses or transportations and all.
For Muslim people, for Muslim students specifically, it's a really good place to live in because it has a loads of halal food here.
Yeah.
So you don't really need to stress about halal food here. You have Tesco, even it's not like a Muslim organization, but still like there is they really
Sections for the halal.
they really do consider Muslim people
Yeah.
because Huddersfield, most of them, the largest community here is like the Muslim
Yeah.
people, so they really consider like having halal food in the chicken, meat, whatever you want there. You will find it here. Also, they have the restaurants and the cafes as well, which is the good thing that make by the Pakistani people here, which is
Yeah.
that's a good thing because you don't have to stress about it as well because they know that they're Pakistani, so of course the food there will
should
be
be
halal.
halal.
Yeah. Then also the masjids.
Yeah. There are
Because
16 or 17
yeah,
masajid in
there's
Huddersfield.
loads of here. I was stressing about that at the beginning, but really I also found out the university in the foundation here they had like a small
Yeah.
area
Before that, what
for
is
their
small.
prayer. Yeah, although it might be like not the best place for praying, but like after asking and raising some
Yeah.
tickets for them, they really consider and they build the new
Jobs.
Jokes building. Yeah, that which is that like
Bigger
very
one.
fascinating building. If you saw it, like oh, like damn, that's a modern building there. So it's a good thing that they really do care about the Muslim students community here, and I really appreciate that. Like,
And
what's
one
going
more
on?
thing which I have to mention here, that the university always asks the students, what do you need? I mean, we are making this and this building. This building is, I mean, the reason of making this building is this. So what do you think these items or these things should be there in that building? The university always asks the students.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Because nowadays they are making the new medical building.
Yeah, so
So
it's like
just
very
next,
far from here.
just
Very
next to
far.
the Chicanos.
Yeah.
So they ask us that what do you think? What do you think that as a student you need those things at here? So we ask them for lockers.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing, the university is asking always, like they're
Yeah.
very consistent with the feedback and the surveys, because if they assume like the student will be okay with, for example, having a charge in the middle of the university, if they assume the student will be okay with that, they might really get in trouble because there'll be like really tight space for the
Yeah.
people to walk in,
Yeah.
and the design of it might not fit the university as well. So they really good with asking people for a survey and doing so on. So that's a good thing for the university. I will give it like a
So-
credit for that.
It's the second last question. So if you're gonna conclude our conversation in those words that when it's come for the recommendation of university, what do you say? And when it's come especially for your own course or for the engineering courses, what do you say about this?
So when it comes
Or
to choosing,
when it's come for the foundation, so because you came through from the foundation and I also came from the foundation, I know that how much, I mean, how they helping staff from the ISC. So
so when you come to choose a university, like in every country, not only the UK, but in every country, you need to look for the student satisfaction. It's not like very important, but student satisfaction really tells you like that university have really friendly community and they can really help you later
Yeah.
on by the time. And the ranking of the university also, because if you are an international student, you really need to choose a good university that will help you later on in your career for the bachelor or masters or PhD even. So University of Huddersfield has like a really good ranking, not in all in UK but
Yeah.
overall in the world. So that's a good thing. And do a specific research about your course in every university, because some people will come here to Huddersfield and they realize, oh, like I didn't like, for example, pharmacy because I didn't thought that pharmacy would be like this in this uni. Then you will have to look again for another university like Leeds Bucket or whatever, which is a not good thing because you're already wasting time here. You came here, you choose this one, and changing it later on might be difficult. So you'll be confused, like what I'm doing here. So I'll say again, student satisfaction, university ranking, and you do specific research about your course. So make sure that you are on the right path.
And when it's come for the recommendation, we're gonna recommend the University of Huddersfield. When it's come for the recommendation, we're gonna recommend this university.
Yeah. So if I have, for example, a younger brother,
Yeah.
inshallah, he might be coming to UK.
Inshallah.
So if you want to study something related to engineer or something, I would recommend this uni because it will put him out of the university stress vibe. I mean, university of all is stress,
Yeah.
but Huddersfield has like a really calm stress, in coming of the deadlines or those stuff. It's really flexible, so wouldn't be stressing a lot.
When it's come for the explanation in your own language, will you gonna explain this for your own community, for your own peoples?
Yeah.
In your own language.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So أول حاجة إذا أنت عايزين تجوا هنا لبريطانيا، أنا أقترح لكم إنكم تجوا لهدرسفيلد لأنها أول حاجة رخيصة. تمام، يعني الناس اللي بتفتكر إنه يوكي كل جامعاتها غالية، لا، الجامعة دي تحديدا رخيصة، يعني من الجامعات الرخيصة وشهادتها قوية. تمام، عندها شهادات تانية بتساعدك إنك يعني تشتغل بسرعة. عندهم برضو يعني سنة صناعية أو سنة امتياز زي ما بقول بالسوداني، في كل التخصصات على أساس إنك تساعدك تديك خبرة عملية. وغير كده يعني الكوميونتي بتاعها يعني فريندلي، يعني بيساعدوك وما عندهم يعني التشدد الناس ممكن تكون فاكرة، ولا الانفتاح كمان الكبير يعني. فالجامعة دي يعني جامعة محترمة يعني. أنا الحمد لله إن أنا اخترتها، لأن أنا الآن في السنة الثانية، إن شاء الله حكون يعني ماشي للسنوات الأخيرة. فهي جامعة محترمة يعني الحمد لله. And I haven't mentioned that in English, by the way. They do have the placement here,
Yeah.
which is a really good thing for the university. Because some of the universities, they don't have like the placement unit.
And after the completion of the course, they ask us, do you want to do the placement?
Yeah.
Then you have to additionally pay for the placements.
Yeah. I mean, it's really pay you off because later on you are benefiting from it.
But you know what? When you are in the course, university have to look after all those placements and all.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when you're gonna go additionally for the placement, you have to figure out your placement.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That
then you
would
have
be
to
like
pay for
something
it and all.
additional, yeah. Because if you want to improve your certificate
Skills
later on,
working and all.
yeah, you'll have to do something related to your work, and that's really will give you a choice. Like,
Yeah.
after I graduate, where do I want to work? For example, in my course, for example, do I want to work in the field with the high voltage or low voltage or stuff like that? So when you do a placement, it will really open your mind. Like, oh, there is something called low voltage. You might be interested. You go for that course or that field. There's something called high voltage. You can go to high voltage, and so on. So that's a good credit for the university.
Yeah.
I'll give it as well.
Perfect. So, when it's come for the conclusion, what do you say in the conclusion? I mean, for the new students, those who recently come for the January intake, and those who are gonna come in the January intake, in the September intake. So, what you are gonna advise them for study, for living?
So I have to think about that for a bit, because when a person come to UK, he will come with some expectation in his mind. He will come with some mindset, and he really need to be ready for change. Firstly, in his character, in his mindset, he need really to be respectful for the people here.
It is.
So he can exchange like respect, and you need really to work hard to be independent, because no one will tell you like what to do. And if you thought that like, oh, especially for a Muslim, if you thought like, oh, I'm just gonna let it free, like I would say like white people, you really later on you're gonna get in a conflict, because you know for a Muslim you have boundaries. You don't want to cross that boundaries, and you want to live like a healthy Muslim lifestyle. You may be consistent in your prayer and those stuff, because it's really hard to stay consistent with your prayer if you didn't put the timer for every prayer, because you know no one listen for adhan.
And I think we should mention one thing is there, that university did not stop us to pray. And they never said, even though teachers didn't stop us to pray, if you're gonna talk with them wisely, they will
can
help
give
us.
you like 5 minutes break.
5-10 minutes they always give us.
So that's a good thing as well. Also they provide like prayer rooms and stuff. So that's a good thing. But mainly for all the students who are coming here with the high expectation, I wouldn't tell you like not to put a high expectation, but the expectation might be a bit changed with the reality of the world here, and especially in the university, because you might think like, oh, I might have to wear a suit every day here or something to come to university, but no one really gave a good, what you call it, to put it in the words, like if you have to wear a fashion, like a new modern fashion, you could do that, but not all of the people like give you all the attention, like, oh damn, he's wearing
nobody cares about what you are wearing and how many you
like
are
he's
looking.
wearing a Jordan or Gucci shoes or it's a good thing,
just focus on your own self, what you are, and just
you came here for a goal. The main goal is to study, to improve your character here. It's like a chapter of your life. 5 years, 3 years, whatever years you're coming for your course, it's a chapter. So you need to really to enjoy that chapter with the good and the bad sides, and to get the benefit of all that chapter. And even if you could stay here for more to, continue getting more advice
Further is
and
what you
training.
want.
Yeah, it should be like a good chapter of your story. Later on, it should be like a chapter of your success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Once you become something, with the passage of time, you will get to know more and more things, and inshallah, everything will be sorted out.
Yeah.
So, come with the positive mindset on top of all. So, Jazakallah khair, Yusuf, giving your precious time, sharing your precious word. On a serious note, it will gonna be helpful for me, for you, and for all of those who are looking for study abroad. Even though those who are here, they also need some kind of motivation. And on a serious note, in your conversation, it was really amazing, seriously. And I have to mention one thing is here that how may I know the Yusuf? First time I've seen to him in the ISC, and after that, at that time we just met them, and after that we met in the
Like our teacher introduced it. Like,
Yeah.
We told like I spoke about it. Because when you have a good relation with IC, they'll make a small community.
And I have to mention one more thing that he's also a progression champion. I'm also a progression champion, and now I'm a ambassador in the university, just trying to help. So, Jazakallah khair for giving your precious time.
Appreciate it.
Inshallah, we're gonna have some more podcasts on different topics, which will be helpful for all the students.
Hopefully, yeah.
Inshallah. So, if you want to say something.
I want from all people to keep an eye on this channel, especially next month, because there is loads of events that are gonna happen, especially in this uni. I would say next month, February, yeah. There will be like a global culture week or month. So keep an eye on this channel because there are really exciting events will be there. I myself, I'll be part of that. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode and stay consistent in this channel. So
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
see you soon.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.